High creatinine. Eat these 5 foods to repair damaged kidneys. Do you feel constantly fatigued, have swelling in your ankles, or notice changes in urine color? These are often silent warning signs of declining kidney function and elevated creatinine levels. But here's the good news. Your kidneys can be supported naturally, and certain foods may help slow down damage. Healthy kidneys filter creatinine efficiently, but when kidney function declines, it builds up in your blood. This condition is known as high creatinine. In this video, I'll reveal 5 powerful kidney-friendly foods, plus a surprising habit that enhances kidney repair. You'll especially want to see the second last item. It's often overlooked but highly effective. We'll begin with a nutrient-dense protein that's surprisingly gentle on your kidneys. Let's talk about salmon. Salmon is often called one of the most kidney-friendly fish, and there is a very good reason for that. A small 3-ounce cooked portion provides around 1.8 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, which have a powerful effect on lowering inflammation in the body. Why does that matter for someone with elevated creatinine? Inflammation inside kidney tissues can worsen damage over time, so reducing it gently through diet can help ease the burden on your filtering system. These same healthy fats also support heart health, which is closely linked to kidney function because weak circulation can slow down filtration even more. Have you ever thought about how your diet impacts both organs at the same time? In addition to omega-3, salmon contains around 450 international units of vitamin D in just a small serving. That may not sound like much, but for someone with kidney issues, it is an important nutrient. Vitamin D helps regulate calcium and phosphorus balance, which is something kidneys normally do very carefully. When kidney function drops, mineral balance gets disturbed, leading to weaker bones and even calcification in blood vessels. Eating fish like salmon adds a small natural boost of vitamin D without the need for heavy supplements. Do you currently check your vitamin D levels? If you do, let me know how you keep them stable. Now, let's talk about the protein in salmon. About 21 grams of high-quality, easily digestible protein are packed into just 3 ounces. Unlike processed meats, salmon protein is gentler on the kidneys because it does not produce as many acidic waste products. But here is where moderation is key. If you eat too much protein, even from healthy fish, it can still push your kidneys to work harder. I've seen patients who swapped red meat for salmon but kept the portions too large, and their creatinine barely improved. So the secret is small servings, 2 or 3 times a week, about the size of your palm. That is enough to maintain muscle while avoiding overload. Choosing the right salmon matters just as much as how much you eat. Always go for wild-caught Alaskan or Pacific salmon rather than farm-raised. Wild salmon has fewer contaminants like mercury and polychlorinated biphenyls, which can accumulate in the body and put even more pressure on the kidneys. Frozen fillets are fine, but read the label carefully. Some frozen fish has added phosphate preservatives that can harm kidney patients by raising phosphate levels. And never pick smoked or heavily salted salmon, because hidden sodium will cause fluid retention and worsen high blood pressure. Have you checked labels on frozen seafood lately? You might be surprised at what's added. Cooking methods also make a difference. Baking, poaching, or lightly grilling keeps the nutrient profile intact without adding unnecessary fats or sodium. For a quick kidney-safe recipe, place a 3-ounce fillet on a baking sheet, squeeze a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, sprinkle a tiny pinch of dill, and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Pair it with lightly steamed zucchini for a complete, gentle meal. This is a recipe I recommend often to my patients because it is simple yet nourishing. Would you try something like this at home? But let's also look at the risks. Seniors or people in more advanced stages of kidney disease should not eat fish daily. Even healthy proteins can build up nitrogenous waste if the kidneys are already struggling. Farmed salmon can carry higher toxins, so relying on it every week is not the best choice. And don't ruin a healthy salmon dish by drowning it in salty sauces or marinades. That completely removes its benefit. Next up is an even purer protein source that barely contains any kidney-stressing minerals. Let's talk about the surprising benefits of egg whites. Before we move on, I'd love to know where you're watching from and what kidney challenges you're dealing with right now. If you're working to protect your kidneys naturally, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And if this content helps you, type 1 in the comments or 0 if it doesn't. I want to keep improving for you. Egg whites are one of the cleanest forms of protein you can eat when your kidneys are sensitive. They are virtually free of phosphorus, which makes them completely different from yolks that carry a heavy phosphorus load. When you eat too much phosphorus, it starts building up in your blood because weak kidneys cannot filter it well. That can lead to bone problems and calcification in tissues. So choosing egg whites allows you to get high-quality protein without this hidden burden. Do you ever separate egg whites from yolks, or do you usually eat the whole egg? Half a cup of liquid egg whites gives you about 11 grams of protein that is extremely easy for the body to use. Nutritionists call it high biological value, meaning almost every bit of that protein goes into building or repairing tissues. It is also naturally low in potassium, which is important if you are someone who has already been told to watch potassium levels. High potassium in the blood can cause dangerous heart rhythm issues, so safe low potassium foods are always needed. Have you ever looked up the potassium content of the foods you eat daily? Egg whites also carry small amounts of riboflavin and selenium, two nutrients that quietly support tissue repair and antioxidant protection. They may not sound like big nutrients, but over time they help reduce cellular stress in organs like the kidneys. I have seen patients who added egg whites to their meals and were able to maintain better nutritional status without raising creatinine. It is one of the simplest changes you can make. You can eat 3 to 4 whites a day, which equals about half a cup of liquid egg whites. They can easily be part of breakfast, a quick lunch, or even a light kidney-friendly snack. There are so many ways to use them. Whip them into an omelette with low-potassium vegetables like bell peppers or onions. Blend them into a smoothie for an extra protein boost without adding strain. Or even bake them into simple muffins that do not rely on heavy dairy or cheese. How do you prefer your eggs plain, scrambled, or in a recipe? When you buy egg whites, choose pasteurized liquid versions in cartons that do not have additives. Avoid pre-seasoned omelette mixes because those are loaded with sodium and sometimes even artificial flavors. If you want even cleaner options, go for organic eggs and separate the whites yourself. For a very easy kidney-friendly recipe, mix half a cup of egg whites with a quarter cup of quinoa flour and a dash of cinnamon. Cook it on a non-stick pan, and you will get a fluffy protein pancake that feels like a treat but is completely safe. Would you try that? Let me know your thoughts below. Just remember not to rely only on egg whites for all your protein needs. Variety matters because the body needs a range of amino acids and nutrients from different sources. Also, do not eat too many yolks because the phosphorus load will add up. Seniors or people in later stages of kidney disease should always ask their doctor before making big protein increases. But in my experience, egg whites are one of the safest, easiest ways to get protein without harming kidney function. If you're finding this helpful so far, please take a second to like this video. It may seem small, but it tells YouTube this message matters and helps the channel reach more people who truly need it. If you believe others deserve this knowledge too, tap that thumbs up now. Let's switch gears to a plant-based option that feels hearty like meat yet is much gentler on your kidneys. It is versatile, packed with protective plant compounds, and surprisingly filling. Let's shift our focus to tofu. Tofu is a plant-based protein made from soybeans, and it brings a very different advantage to kidney health. A half-cup serving of firm tofu has about 10 grams of protein, but unlike most animal proteins, it produces a lower acid load in the body. That matters because high acid levels can damage kidneys over time and cause more leaching of minerals from bones. Have you ever tried replacing meat with tofu in your meals? It might surprise you how light it feels on digestion. It also has about 250 milligrams of calcium in that small serving, which helps keep bones strong. Bone health often suffers in kidney disease because mineral balance is disrupted. Tofu naturally supports it without adding a heavy phosphorus load like dairy products do. Isoflavones, which are unique plant compounds found in tofu, have anti-inflammatory effects. Lower inflammation means better protection for kidney tissues. Isn't it interesting that a simple bean product can have such protective effects? The best part is that tofu is low in both phosphorus and potassium compared to most other beans. That makes it safer than chickpeas or lentils if you have potassium restrictions. You can eat about half a cup 3 to 4 times weekly as an ideal amount. It works wonderfully as a meat substitute in dinners. One easy way to cook tofu is by steaming it with ginger slices for gentle flavor. Serve it over half a cup of cooked quinoa and a small handful of steamed spinach. Then drizzle just a teaspoon of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon juice. It becomes a complete plant-based meal that supports kidney function while still being satisfying. Would you enjoy a dish like that? When buying tofu, pick firm or extra firm varieties that are stored in plain water. Avoid pre-marinated or smoked tofu because those often carry too much sodium and preservatives. Look at the ingredient label. Calcium sulfate or magnesium chloride are safe coagulants used to make tofu. Processed soy products like burgers or nuggets are not the same. They have hidden additives that can stress your kidneys. Have you checked the sodium content on plant-based meat alternatives? It can be shocking sometimes. One mistake people make is frying tofu in heavy oils, which adds unnecessary fat and makes it harder for the kidneys to process. Also, eating very large portions daily may still create some protein load. Balance is always key. A nice extra tip for anyone with chewing difficulties is to blend silken tofu into smoothies. It is smooth, light, and boosts protein intake easily. Over the years, I have seen many patients shift from animal-heavy diets to tofu, and their creatinine levels stopped rising so quickly. Less acid load, fewer inflammatory triggers, it makes a noticeable difference when done correctly. Now we are moving to a humble legume that quietly supports gut health and helps remove toxin buildup from the body. Next, we'll take a closer look at black beans. Half a cup of cooked black beans provides about 7 grams of plant-based protein, which is a steady and moderate source of amino acids without putting too much strain on the kidneys, like heavier animal proteins often do. That same serving carries around 8 grams of soluble fiber, and this type of fiber binds with harmful uremic toxins in the digestive tract, helping your body eliminate them rather than letting them circulate back into the bloodstream. Have you thought about how improving gut health can indirectly ease kidney stress? The gut and kidneys are deeply connected, and when you eat enough fiber, you not only keep your digestion smooth, but also reduce the buildup of waste products in your body. Black beans also give you about 60 milligrams of magnesium per serving, which supports heart rhythm and keeps blood vessels relaxed, an essential factor for people dealing with kidney issues who also need to watch their cardiovascular health closely. Folate, another nutrient present at roughly 120 micrograms per serving, helps repair cells and maintain healthy red blood cell production, something that can sometimes be compromised in chronic kidney disease. Soaking beans overnight before cooking is a simple yet powerful step, as it helps reduce their potassium levels and removes compounds that may cause bloating. Have you ever tried soaking beans and noticed the difference in how your body feels afterward? Drop a comment below if you have your own tips for reducing bean-related discomfort. When it comes to how much to eat, half a cup cooked 2 or 3 times a week is enough to bring benefits without overloading your system. Cooking them in plain water with a bay leaf instead of salt keeps them kidney safe while still adding a mild earthy flavour. You can mash them lightly with a drizzle of olive oil to make a simple dip that avoids the heavy sodium content you often find in store-bought black bean spreads. For buying, dried beans are always better because you control the entire preparation process. But if you prefer canned beans for convenience, always rinse them very well to wash away excess sodium. Organic options may also reduce exposure to pesticides, which is another layer of kidney protection over time. There are still a few cautions worth keeping in mind. Too much black beans, especially in late-stage kidney disease, can raise potassium levels beyond what your kidneys can handle, so balance is key. Don't rely on processed dips or ready-made black bean products, as they are often loaded with salt and preservatives. And remember that improper soaking or rushing the cooking process can lead to bloating or digestive discomfort, which is the last thing you want if your body is already under strain. Now, let's shift our focus to another plant-based option that is equally kind to your kidneys, yet offers a very different texture and nutritional profile. We are talking about quinoa. Quinoa is often called a grain, but it is actually a seed that behaves like a grain when cooked, making it a fantastic gluten-free alternative for those who need variety beyond rice or pasta. Half a cup of cooked quinoa gives you about 8 grams of complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot produce on its own. This makes it incredibly valuable for maintaining muscle mass without relying solely on animal proteins. Did you know that reducing the acid load from food can protect your kidney tissue from further damage? Quinoa has an alkalizing effect on the body, which helps offset the acid-producing nature of many other proteins like meat. Beyond protein, quinoa is rich in magnesium, with around 120 milligrams per cup, which improves vascular health and helps regulate blood pressure. A critical point since uncontrolled blood pressure can accelerate kidney decline. It also provides manganese, about 0.6 milligrams per cup, which supports antioxidant enzymes that reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in your cells. Research from leading nutrition institutes has shown that quinoa's nutrient density contributes not only to kidney support but also to better metabolic balance overall. For portion size, half a cup cooked quinoa daily or every other day is more than enough. It can easily replace rice in a meal or act as a hearty base for salads. Always buy pre-rinsed quinoa when possible because raw quinoa contains saponins, natural compounds that can cause a bitter taste and mild digestive irritation if not removed. Have you ever tasted quinoa that felt slightly soapy or bitter? That is a sign it was not rinsed well. For cooking, keep it simple. Combine half a cup of cooked quinoa with 2 tablespoons of parsley, a teaspoon of olive oil, and a squeeze of lemon juice for a refreshing and kidney-friendly herb salad. Be cautious about oversized portions because even healthy plant-based protein can add up, and too much at once still puts extra work on the kidneys. Don't cook quinoa in salty broths or pair it with heavily processed sauces, as that negates the benefits. A helpful tip is mixing quinoa with tofu for a perfectly balanced plant-based meal that is low in acid load and easier for the kidneys to process. Next, let's step away from food for a moment and look into a simple movement practice that can support your kidney health from another angle. Gentle yoga twists can make a surprising difference. Gentle twisting postures improve renal blood flow, which means more oxygen and nutrients reach your kidney tissue while waste products are moved away more efficiently. These movements also stimulate lymphatic drainage, helping reduce fluid retention that many kidney patients experience. Another powerful benefit is lowering stress hormones, which are known to accelerate kidney damage when they stay elevated for long periods. In fact, Johns Hopkins researchers have highlighted how relaxation techniques like yoga can slow kidney disease progression by reducing systemic stress. The best part is you only need a few minutes daily. A simple seated twist, where you sit upright, rotate gently to one side, and hold for 20 to 30 seconds while breathing deeply, can calm your nervous system. Another option is the supine twist, lying on your back and letting one knee cross over the body while you breathe slowly. Just 5 minutes of this each day can improve circulation without causing any strain. The key is not to force the movement. Forcing deep twists can hurt your back or abdominal area, and skipping the breathing focus takes away most of the benefit. Now, let's wrap up everything we have covered so you can start applying these kidney-friendly tips right away. Here is a quick recap. Salmon provides omega-3 fatty acids that calm inflammation and gives clean protein. Egg whites are pure protein without adding a phosphorus burden. Tofu is a plant protein with a gentler acid load. Black beans supply fiber that clears toxins and supports gut health. Quinoa is an alkalizing seed with complete plant protein, and gentle yoga twists improve circulation and ease stress hormones that harm kidneys. Start with just one small change each week, because even gradual steps can bring meaningful relief to your kidneys over time. If this video was helpful, please don't leave without subscribing to the channel. And if you feel like I truly understood your struggle and offered a solution that matters, type the word relief in the comments. I'd love to know this helped you.